Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Lexington, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Don't go anywhere else. JD Vance went on ABC this week. And if there's something I like to see is for someone to put a corporate journalist in their place, especially a propagandist. And they all are. So if you're employed by a corporate news show, your job is to do propaganda. You're there to manufacture consent, and that's what they do. And so JD Vance, again, a guy who I agree with on some things, disagree with on others. He is going to put her in her place. Watch this. So I guess Trump has recently, Trump's Mr. Hyperbole. And so you know how those Venezuelan gangs, they had taken over a couple of apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. That happened. So yeah. Trump went and said, they're taking over the whole city, right? And of course,
did he actually say that, or that's the gist of what people
I think I could see him saying it. I don't, but that's what they're saying, he said.
Right.
And so Martha, ABC News tool is going to say that that's wrong, and even the Republican mayor is saying that's wrong. Well, watch how JD Vance pushes back against this.
I understand what you're saying, that some people left behind, but he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened. Martha. I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns.
So now, she's repeating what a politician said, as if it's fact without her fact checking it.
As if it fixes the thing to say that.
Except JD Vance catches it.
But also, I just want to add that she says a handful.
Well, that's what JD Vance watch.
A handful of problems.
A handful.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
Okay, let's just end that with they did not invade or take over the city, as Donald Trump said.
They took over a handful of apartments, and that's a handful too many. There should be zero. Here's how many Venezuelan gangs should illegally come in and take over apartments. None. We have plenty of murderers here to take over apartments. You're busting them in. So that shows you their attitude towards you, the regular person.
That's exactly right. Look, she says that it's only a handful of apartments.
Fuck me then if I'm in that apartment, I guess.
Well, if somebody took her parking spot at the studio, she'd be flipping out and making phone calls, let alone someone taking over her apartment that she lives in.
Not even a handful of parking spots, just her spot. There would be hell to pay.
What is the USDA daily minimum allowance amount of apartment buildings being taken over by Venezuelan gangs? So watch how she ends it.
I want to move on to
just a few apartment complexes, no big deal.
A few apartment complexes that the mayor did not seem was invading the entire city. Let's move on to women and abortion.
Hey, I think JD Vance just became likable in that clip to me.
Yes.
And I thought he was weird. I heard he smokes pot, and that might mean he's not under my control because if you study the program, they didn't want anybody smoking weed because it interferes with the mind control. And it leads to saying stuff like he just said to this dingbat on Disney's ABC.
I think that was very telling, very revealing of a corporate news tool, Martha Raddatz. It's only a handful of, but wasn't the whole city?
Oh, well, screw them then. I guess they're like Iraqi civilians or all the other civilians of all of our freedom train wars we have. It's only a few.
Here's what, watch this. How utterly humiliating for her. Hey, Martha, 9/11 was only a couple of buildings in New York City. There are so many buildings there. Why did we get worked up over just a handful of buildings? When the news declared America was under attack, did you quickly jump to correct them and clarify that, no, America's under attack, just a handful of buildings?
There's only two. It's not even a full handful.
Well, there's three. I wonder
these two fingers here.
I wonder if Martha Raddatz would feel differently if it was her apartment complex invaded by Venezuela. She would feel differently if it was her parking spot.
Okay, I know she would. You know what? Yeah, 100%. 100%. And we know on a larger sense they would. This is when my friend texted me about the Haitian cats and dogs thing, as if that's the most pressing thing, not all of the other stuff. Remember they were shipping the illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard?
Yes. And they're like, we can't
have this here.
We can't have this.
This is a stunt.
Yes.
What is this, a stunt? Okay, so it's okay for everybody but you, bitch, right? That's how it works.
That's it. That's how it works. So here's what Greg is snacking says. He says, silly J.D. Vance. Everybody knows that Venezuelan gangs need to occupy 5 to 10 more apartment complexes to officially be considered a problem by people like masterclass mental gymnast Martha Raddatz. Well said. So I just wanted to show everybody that and show.
It's unbelievable that she said. I mean, why is it unbelievable? No, it isn't. What am I saying?
It's only. She really wanted to make that point. It's only a handful. I want to show. Let me show it again. Actually, I want to
understand what you're saying. That some people left behind, but he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Mostly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you.
Because she thinks she's got him. I got this high school debating tactic.
This is amazing.
I just want to establish they did not take over the whole city. Like that makes it okay. Here she goes.
We're limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
A handful.
You know,
only
Dahmer
Martha.
Dahmer only ate a handful of people, and everybody makes a big deal about it.
A handful.
And we never shut up about it.
Your Honor, my client only ate a handful of people.
At least he was from America.
Hear yourself. Only a handful of apartment complexes.
And then she was like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming."
She cannot hear herself.
She can. The most unaware people in the world.
People got a cat can't smell the cat box.
Hey, have you heard about the new superfood that seems almost too good to be true? It's got thousands upon thousands of 5-star reviews and life-changing testimonials from users. It's Armra Colostrum. I'm actually taking it. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life, and it's an exclusive source of all the essential nutrients we need in order to thrive. Armra Colostrum is a proprietary concentrate of bovine colostrum that harnesses over 400 functional nutrients to strengthen your immune barriers against harmful particles from the environment that can trigger inflammation and make you sick. Colostrum has been known to strengthen immunity, ignite metabolism, fortify gut health, promote hair growth and skin radiance, and power fitness performance and recovery. Amra's grass-fed bovine colostrum concentrate strengthens all 4 layers of your gut wall, where 80% of your immune cells are housed, and activates cellular health for your resilience and recovery. We've worked out a special offer for my audience. Get what? You get 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra, that's TRYARMRA.com/Jimmy, and enter Jimmy to get 15% off your first order. That's TRYARMRA.com/Jimmy. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, Los Angeles, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Lexington, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Don't go anywhere else.